Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter Barber. I am primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, bass vocalist, and lately have relaunched my podcast, Vocal Arts with Peter Barber. Today we are going to be checking out JenniferGlatzhofer's latest music video, I believe, latest official music video. I've been waiting to watch this one. It's called I'm Not a Fan. And I told her I would make a video for her on this, a first-time reaction and analysis video for her. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Jen is a friend of mine. We have done a podcast episode together, a Jen of all trades, because she does a bunch of stuff in the music world. I'll link that right here. We truly have become virtual friends over the years. We've done a couple covers together. We've done one cover together for sure. Love is an Open Door. I'll link that one here too. Boom. And it's been a joy to get to know her, and it was a pleasure chatting with her for the podcast. She's multi-talented. She's smart. She's funny. She's got a great voice. So happy to make this video for her, and very excited to see it. She's actually really finding some success with her solo music, which is so well deserved and difficult to do. Very difficult to do, and tough to branch away from. You know what people generally come to your channel for. For both of us, it's our musical analysis. So to be finding success with solo work is a big challenge, and she's doing a wonderful job. Guys, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm. Could be anything. Jen is awesome. Peter's awesome. Yay, the podcast rocks. Doesn't matter, all good for the algorithm. Hit the bell for notifications, and if I really am adding a lot of value to your listening experience, which is my entire goal for this channel, please do consider joining my Patreon family for as little as $3 a month. Without further ado, let's watch and analyze.
Lately, I keep on making daily feelings I cannot change. I'm not a fan right now that nothing is making sense. I'm finding the words to say. I'm not a fan right
Okay, this is like hyper catchy already. I'm trying to think where I've definitely heard a melody similar to that. Jen, where have I heard melody similar to this? Very catchy, very cool. I also love the fact that it's both a music video and a lyric video. Very cool. So no question as to what she's saying. Vocally, let me listen one more time and pay a little more attention to the voice. Electric guitar.
Lately, I keep on making daily feelings I cannot change.
Very cool. Okay, so Jen's starting in a nice intimate place. We're not in Beltland. We're like right in low middle register. Very easy, very comfortable for her. Something about Jen's voice, and this probably has to do with her musical theater training background, is she naturally has very good vocal fold closure. So she naturally produces an efficient sound at this point. Call it naturally, even if we're factoring in the training being the potential reason. But very good vocal fold closure, so you don't hear gravel or grit or a lot of breathiness in her sound. It's a very efficient sound. It's a very efficient use of air, which lends itself to being able to sustain longer phrases in songs. It sustains itself actually to more power and volume, and especially in that high harmonic content of the sound, which is going to cut. Now, Jen never trained as an opera singer, but that's the kind of singing, that kind of efficiency that really works well. Not only does it work well, it's absolutely essential to have as an opera singer to be able to cut over an orchestra with no microphone. You have to be that loud and efficient with your sound. And I believe Jen could have pursued opera. I do. Hearing her tone, just thinking about how her voice would have developed had she gone down the more classical road, I think she would have had a wonderful classical voice. But she sounds wicked good on musical theater, so I also fully support that career path for her. All right, let's keep going.
Lately, I keep on making daily feelings.
Nope, gonna stop again. So if you listen to how she says, lately, she has that glottal onset, which actually helps vocal fold closure as opposed to high, high, high is called a coordinated onset. I is a glottal onset, and it really helps the vocal folds come together. So even though we're in the low middle, even though she's singing quietly and intimately, you can still just listen to how efficient that sound is. There's really there's very little extra breath coming through the vocal folds.
Lately, I keep on making daily feelings I cannot change.
Now, feelings I cannot, she connects it, she elides the feelings I. So you don't get the glottal onset because it would be weird to say feelings I cannot. It makes more sense just speaking English. Feelings I cannot.
I'm not a fan right now that nothing is making sense. I'm finding the words to say. I'm not a fan right now.
Give me those drums.
I've been sad it too long, thinking about the days gone. Why can't I just get something right?
You can really hear the musical theater training, especially in the efficiency of the sound and the kind of vowel shaping. Musical theater is very much like kind of bite the apple, open, bright, forward, text-driven singing a lot of the time. And we really get that here. It's also, upper chest range for musical theater has to be very efficient as well. Usually there are a lot of big, long, sustained belts. That's like a big staple of musical theater. And so to do those belts, like I mentioned earlier, you can't allow too much air to come out while you're singing or the belt just won't last very long. So it has to be very efficient.
I've been sad it too long, thinking about the days gone. Why can't I just get something right?
Nice.
Barely even moving, afraid to hear I'm losing.
Little flipped up into head voice there, a little flip in registers. Obviously not needed. Of course, she could have carried the chest voice up like she did singing the same notes previously in the chorus, or a bridge. I don't know. We'll see. But she actually flipped for, a little effect, a little change, a little artistic choice there.
Barely even moving,
Afraid. I guess on the word afraid, maybe a little more, trying to put a little vulnerability in the sound. I will mention again, if you see the computer rocking back and forth, that's because this webcam I'm using is heavy, and I need to get a tripod to put it on. Right now, it's just sitting on the laptop, so apologies for the thing rocking back and forth. Anyway, on Afraid, she flips up into that much lighter mechanism of singing. Yes, Jen, belt that shit. Now, I have a feeling that because she's someone who pays attention to the vowel shapes she uses when singing, I'm guessing this lip sync, yes, this is lip synced, like 99.99% of all music videos, that she's actually, instead of, sometimes when you watch music videos, it looks like the singers are just very relaxed and kind of speaking, even if they're like belting their heads off. I feel like Jen here is actually being pretty true to the vowels she used when recording, which, if you have a vowel like plee, E, on a big high belt, it's going to be more like E, and you're going to shape the vowel with your tongue. You're going to have a big open mouth and use the tongue, E, 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 to create that E vowel. So watch her mouth. Her mouth stays very wide open throughout this whole belt on this high B4, just below tenor high C, because you want a big open oral cavity mouth when singing high in your chest range. So no matter the vowel, she's opting for a much more open sound, and that's going to actually help the sound get out. It's going to literally, based on physics of how these sound waves propagate throughout the vocal tract, originating at the vocal folds, actually going to help her sing that line. See, there's not much difference between Me out, me out, me and out. Very different vowels, very similar mouth position.
Please don't shut me out. I'm not done trying. Lately, I keep on making daily feelings I cannot change. Now that nothing is making sense, I'm finding the words to say.
Vocally, musically, very similar to the first verse, except I don't think there were drums until that chorus. So we have drums now for this second verse here, but vocally she's singing the exact same notes, very similar rhythms. It's very strophic in that way, meaning a lot of the elements are repeated with different text. Strophic pieces, fun fact, as you maybe you would guess, maybe you wouldn't, are the hardest to memorize because your brain, when attaches text to music, and so if you have 3 different, 4 different sets of text attached to the same melody, it's very difficult for your brain to parse those and reliably memorize them in order. That's why a song like this is totally tangential, but if you guys have ever heard, you guys must know Bob Dylan, probably the greatest songwriter ever, like one of them, greatest lyricist. He has a song called a lot of his songs are strophic, but he has a song called Desolation Row, which is the same melody every verse for 10 minutes straight, and he was known to perform this live in his concerts. I can't imagine something more difficult to memorize. That's harder than memorizing like multiple arias in different languages, which we do as opera singers. Just something in your own language, same melody, different text, very difficult. That was a big tangent on strophic music, but basically we're getting similar vocal range, same melody as we did for Jennifer, same style of singing. She hasn't really revved up. Maybe a little bit revving up of the vocal intensity in the second verse, but otherwise very similar.
Nothing is making sense. I'm finding the words to say. I'm not a fan right now. Oh, but not my.
That's different. Glottal onsets. Oh, 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 mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan right now. Oh, but not my eyes. I see that one.
Hey, that Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So little different vocally there, mostly similar, and then we get back into the second chorus. I like that Ian's making the guest star celebrity shot. Ian is Jennifer's partner in crime for all things musical. It's also really just a really nice setting for a relatively simple music video, but it really, I mean, like so many people go to coffee shops to like journal, right? It's somehow more productive than sitting in your room. So it's just a really nice, like I feel like all the colors and the elements of where she's shooting really work with the text and the song itself. So just another smart artistic choice from a smart person to make sure those elements are lined up. So brava, Jen, brava. Oh, was that a little grit? I heard a little grit in there. Little grit. Not on the word not. She puts a little grit in there. It is difficult for people like myself and like Jen who have trained a lot vocally to sing in a very healthy, efficient way to introduce grit into the sound. I'm absolutely god awful at it. My voice just is like, no, you're an opera singer. We're not doing grit. But I recently had a wonderful chat with Elizabeth Zaroff of the Charismatic Voice for my channel, which will come out in a few weeks or so. And she's done a lot of work figuring out how to both sing opera and be able to do all the gritty stuff without one affecting the other. So apparently it is possible, and I really didn't realize that until I chatted with her. So it's something I might try experimenting with, but it would have to be definitely not when I'm in the middle of like an opera production. So she gave me a few tips on how I can start kind of approaching that, probably when I have downtime, between shows. Elizabeth, of course, is no longer doing opera professionally, but she does have some big, very cool ideas for projects to do recitals and things like that using all that operatic training. So you guys can hear all about that in the wonderful interview with her coming out, I believe. I can check my calendar. It's probably, I think, I want to say late August is when that's coming out. Anyway, Jennifer, well-trained, so introducing grit is not an intuitive thing. The voice is like, whoa, we don't like that most of the time.
I'm not done trying. I need to know that I will carry on fighting.
High D, D5 above tenor high C.
I will carry on fighting.
Still sounding full chest connection there.
Set these words before.
I'm not really sure. Again, skilled singer, so, it can be tough to tell in a record. It'd be easy to tell live because of true volume. Tougher in a recording setting to tell what's mixed and what's full chest if the singer's very skilled. The idea is that people don't notice, can't change, and that I'm not sure if it's full chest or some kind of chest dominant mix. It sounds a little heady, but it's a high quality note. Bridge. Take him to the bridge. Oh, that was a cool chord progression, and there was like two ways it could have gone at the end. One was like build back up bigger and bigger into like this final chorus, and another one is to kind of pull it back down right at the end of this bridge, which is what she ended up doing. It's like, oh wait, no, let's go back a little bit so you can feel that kind of revving up. Nope, gonna go back more. Good Lord. Here we go. Higher. Higher. Comes back a little bit. Instrumental break. What'd she do there? Something like that. So you can just so clearly hear the musical theater background. Big mouth, efficient sound. Vibrato and grit. On out, we have and then right after that, she goes into a little bit of a grit sing. Love the added riffs. That sounded pretty chesty, that one. Use a little cry in the sound. My teacher talks about that all the time. A little cry in the sound to get that vocal fold closure.
Lately, I keep on making daily feelings I cannot change. I'm not a fan right now that nothing is making sense. I'm finding the words to say. I'm not a fan.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers is the song that has this melody. And now I need to find which one it is. Is it from Stadium Arcadium? Not that song, but the album. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna figure out what that is right after this. God, I keep making this webcam bounce around. It's too heavy. Woo! Yay, Jen! So good, so catchy. So revealing of the training, which is awesome, but also putting a little grit in there. We got beautiful, efficient sound. We got a little grit. We got vibrato. We got a perfect example of how to sing high notes in chest voice, keeping that sound very forward and bright and awesome. And just a good song. Like, I actually really like this song. It's, I'll need to go back and pay closer attention to the text, but I definitely really enjoyed when I was tuning in to the actual poetry of the piece. Bravo to you, Jen. Glad I could finally get around to watching this for the first time and breaking it down. Probably the most extensive analysis that will be done on this song, unless you doing for it yourself. So hope you enjoyed. I hope I made you appreciate your own music and singing even more. That's the goal. And guys, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell. Go subscribe to Jen. Go go binge all her stuff. She's great. Everything she puts out is great. And we have been like brother sister in our journey through YouTube, because I think she reached out to me on Instagram when we were both at like, I want to say like 40,000 subscribers, like dead even. And now, I'm at like 108 and she's at like 110. And so we hit 100,000 in like the same week or within the same 2-week period. So we are just leveling up hand in hand. And it's kind of cool to have someone else who's, making a lot of the same kind of content and just kind of scaling at the same pace. So it's cool to be on that journey with her. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed. Jen, brava. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.